Alrighty, so today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about the priorities in gardening. So, if you're into emergency preparedness or prepping and you don't have a garden, you're wrong. Canned goods, MREs, and all your dry storage goods are only going to be able to last for so long. You need to have a good way of getting some variety in your diet. That's not trying to be mean or anything, but you need to be planting plants in the ground, seeing what your ground likes, seeing what grows well in your area. We've got some beans growing here, and it's taken a little bit, but they're doing all right. There are lots of people that I know that consider themselves preppers, and they've got a bucket of the emergency preparedness seeds in their basement, and they think that if something bad happens, they're going to be able to just start growing. So when you find out what grows well in your area, then you can know what to keep planting, what you can rely on. Because a lot of the times those seed packets just have generic seeds for, a range of areas, but it won't really work well for you. For example, here in Idaho, because of the big fire seasons and how smoky it gets, tomatoes don't really do too well here. And if you are going to do tomatoes, a lot of the times you have to finish them indoors, cut the branches and then let them finish there. You can see the cherry tomatoes are starting to turn a little bit, but my celebrity tomatoes are still green. Or for tomatoes, you do cherry tomatoes because those will ripen up real quickly. Another thing is, if you're growing this food, you need to learn how to preserve the food. You got to make sure you got plenty of pop tops and plenty of mason jars. So by far the best way to do that is to can it. Freeze drying is great, but freeze dryers are expensive. And canning, in my opinion, elevates the flavor of whatever you're trying to preserve. So coming up here looking at the garden, I just harvested a bunch of beets, so there's less than there was before. So some other things to consider is the yield of what you're growing. So you've got something like squash, which has a very high yield, but not super tasty. Then on the other end of that, you have something like strawberries, which are going to be a lower yield, but way tastier. It takes time to be able to develop a good garden, one that's repeatable year after year. And then it takes time to know what your soil needs and what needs to be added to your soil after each year. Adding compost into the mixture, are you able to produce compost year after year? Are you able to reliably get a garden going each year? So these are things to consider and stuff you should be practicing now. Okay, so we're looking at our chickens here. What they don't tell you about chickens is that even though they live to be about 10 years old, they really only produce well up until they're 3, and then their production drops off pretty significantly. So if you're someone that relies on a constant, flow of eggs, you need to learn how to replace chickens every couple of years so that you can still get that steady stream. So what I'm getting at is you should be doing it now. Even if that means, just getting a couple pots and growing some plants inside. Those little bits of experience are very valuable.